Well, see, that's kind of the weird fallback, isn't it? Like saying like, oh, well, if you disagree with this, then you're saying trans people are not valid.
Well, what, do you disagree with it?
Disagree with what?
I don't know. You're the one complaining about woke police controlling thought.
You keep misdirecting and going to these silly arguments like, are you suggesting trans people aren't valid?
What silly argument? What factually incorrect thing are they teaching in school with regards to sex and gender?
0% of you are subscribed. Fix that.
Hey, what's up?
Yo! All right, hit me up. Give me your contentions. How you doing?
You seem to think that it would be better if we, and this is the nicest way I can think of framing it, got rid of the conservatives. I don't mean, you know, I'm not trying to say you're saying violence or anything like that, but I mean, I've heard some of the other things that you said. I've listened to a few of your debates with conservatives on YouTube, and I don't want to be, you know, rude and quote you from those debates, but you've said mean things about the conservatives. Thinking of previous things that you've said, like walling off Alabama, is one of the
okay. I'm pretty sure it should be known I don't actually want to wall off Alabama.
And you usually have a very harsh tone when you go into a conversation with them.
Yeah, I think conservatives are holding us back as a civilization, and the survival of our species kind of depends on them being made politically irrelevant. I don't mean that we need to purge them or anything. I just mean they need to like shut up and let adults take control of like the government for a little while.
You need conservatism to basically put a like a lasso, for lack of better words, on progressive ambition. So I think that I think they play so the left doesn't push too far.
But like what positive contributions are the Republicans making right now to our country?
Maybe a positive contribution would be holding back the excess of progressivism, but they're not even doing a good job of that.
Yeah, but like they're not just doing that, they're actively like dragging us down. They're deregulating like environmental deregulating environmental concerns. They're like defunding the EPA. They're handling the coronavirus terribly. We're doing like one of the worst of any countries on the planet. They're actively trying to repeal civil rights. The Trump administration asked about taking away the right for gay couples to adopt, and the Supreme Court, the conservatives in the Supreme Court are talking about maybe removing gay marriage just like a legal right. Like they're not just sitting around, like they're actively making the country worse, you know?
I mean, our government goes through he said, she said pretty much all the time. Democrats do something, Republicans freak out. Republicans do something, Democrats freak out. It's
but I'm talking about the Republicans right now. Like they're literally just doing nothing but bad things, you know?
Like, well, I mean,
pretty
define bad.
Well, the reduction of civil rights, climate change being pretty huge ones, COVID-19's handling being a pretty huge one, the incredible expansion of corporate power, I would define as bad because I'm a socialist.
This is why I sided with the right, because I think they're being improperly castigated for being more racist than they actually are. I think the same accusations could be levied against most of the people on the left and the woke movement.
If your argument is unironically that Democrats are more mean, that's ridiculous. Republicans will frequently call Democrats everything they can get away with without getting kicked off C-SPAN. They will say anything. They are relentless. They will say the worst things about Democrats. The idea that like Democrats are the more uncivil ones in the culture war discourse just does not hold up to me in my experiences. So I mean, what other culture war things do I want to shove down your throat?
It's more like it's just more or less a general forcing people to basically fit to you. Well,
what? But no, like specifics, please specifics. Don't just like vaguely say like the woke mob wants to force you to do whatever.
I can't just gesture broadly then. I'm making a joke, but I get it.
I don't know. Are you? I don't know. No. So I don't want like vague, there are woke mobs. Like what, like how is you complain about the culture war. What are we doing to force our ideas down your throat? Like what are we trying to change?
I don't think that you can prove beyond a reasonable doubt that your set of moral values is better than the conservative set of moral values. Therefore, I think that it is wrong.
What moral values are we, wait. I don't know what moral values we're talking about. Who writes the textbooks? Here's a
good one for you. Like, do you think it is morally okay to teach kids the whole gender spectrum and all of that fun stuff?
What gender spectrum?
What do you mean, what gender? You've never heard of it?
You mean like that there are men and women and those are socially ordained roles, but that they're not like inherently biologically true?
Well, I mean, I disagree with the second half of that, but the first half was on par.
Oh. Well, I mean, nothing that I just described, everything that I described is factually correct. So,
well, I know you would say that, but
no, I would be correct. Yeah. So they can teach that.
I mean,
yeah. I don't want the kids being taught lies. So yeah.
So you don't think there's anybody out there scientifically saying that, you know, men are men, women are women?
What are men are? Of course, men are men. What else would men be? It's tautological. Rocks are rocks. You know, if you grind a rock down enough, it turns into sand.
That genders are social constructs. Wasn't that where you were going with?
Yeah, but gender is objectively a social construct. That's not like a scientific disagreement argument thing. That's just it's what it is.
And this is one of the main reasons that I think it's wrong to shove your beliefs down their throat.
We're not shoving any beliefs. It's literally just what the word means. It's just what the word means.
What?
That's what gender means. So, for example, the fact that men tend to wear suits, that's not biological. There's no biological reason why we had to wear the three-piece suit and why people with vaginas generally are the ones who wear flowy dresses. That's completely arbitrary. And there have been points in history where the reverse is the case or whatever. But we decide on it, we've set on it, and it seems to be really, really conventionally believed now. So the suit thing, the suit dress thing, that's gender, you know? But, like, that's not biological. There's not a gene in my body that makes it so that I get, like, the shivers when I wear a dress. We're a little off the beaten path. We were talking about education. What are kids being taught about gender and sex that's harmful?
Well, I never said that it was harmful. I said I don't think people on the left have a right to shove their beliefs down somebody else's throat.
No, we don't. Wait. Again, stop using that term because it doesn't mean anything.
Okay. Can you tell me, please, a different term to use that won't bother you?
I don't know what you mean. You mean like we shouldn't advocate our positions, or?
No, I don't think you should codify your beliefs into law.
Wait, who determines? Wait, but you haven't even found. We've been talking about this for 30 minutes, and the first thing you finally settled on that you could find as an example for us codifying our belief into law is our school curriculum. But school curriculums aren't controlled by leftists. And now we're talking about gender and sex, but you haven't given an example for how that's bad. So, like, what are we talking about? Conservatives codify their beliefs into law all the time.
I didn't know I had to.
You keep saying the left shoving down their throat. What are we talking about here?
I have a problem with people teaching kids factually untrue things about the world.
Like what?
This is a gesture broadly.
No, what? You can't do that, man. Dude, does it concern you that your political motivations, you can't even like elaborate what it is that motivates you?
You want me to point to a very, very specific thing when I don't know what you want to.
You're critiquing the invalidity of gender ideology
like multiple times.
No, but like what thing? What thing is false? Well, like, do you want me to run down premises and you can like I can remind you premises? Fine. Okay, here. So trans people are valid. Gender is a socially constructed spectrum.
Opinion.
Huh?
Opinion.
Of course, they're opinions. Do you think they're wrong? You realize? Wait. You realize the term?
I said I want.
Wait. You realize all people are created equal is an opinion, right? You realize the Declaration of Independence is an opinion, right? You realize the Constitution is full of legal opinions, right? Of course it's opinion. We're talking about ethics. So what here do you disagree with?
Well, then I would disagree with your ethics.
What is wrong with the ethics of trans people are valid? What about you shouldn't murder people? That's an opinion. Now, you can argue about data surrounding murder, but at the end of the day, you have to make an ethical leap.
Do you want to do whataboutism where we go back and forth on this, or would you like to get to the meta point?
No, I just want you. You've been gesturing at woke
people
forcing their things in your throat for like an hour, but you you are incapable of specifically referring to a thing you disagree with.
Because you completely threw out all counter evidence to your claim.
No, come on. You're a conspiracy theorist, dude. You're arguing against modern scientific plurality.
No, I'm not. I'm saying there are studies on both sides that say
you keep saying. Listen, hold on, please. You keep saying all studies, like you're an enlightened centrist and these all mean the same. Maybe this is your postmodernist bent, okay? Your studies are worthless. First of all, quit bringing them up in this convo. You haven't given me any studies to look at. So in the context of this conversation, nothing has been debunked because you haven't provided anything. We're having a conversation. You keep saying that I throw out your evidence. You haven't given me any to throw out. So stop talking about it in the context of this conversation.
I mean,
why is this bad? I mean, like, you have such a strong
consensus,
opinion.
but it's not all the medical consensus.
No, of course, there's Dr. Deborah So. I know.
No,
but how
I don't even
long?
think she's made a study.
What?
I don't even think Dr. Deborah So has made a study, has she?
So wait, hold on. There is like a broken lever in your brain. You can't possibly believe that you can just ignore reality because there's one naysayer. Do you believe in climate change?
Obviously.
Why? There are doctors who say it's not real.
So
why?
Are you this dumb?
I have multiple studies from climate deniers. Some of them were even fired for publishing their arguments. Why?
Why what?
Why do you believe that why are you a globe head too?
The evidence is obviously better for global warming.
So wait, So you're saying that dozens of official institutions employing thousands of professionals producing study after study after study might be a good way of understanding complex geological, meteorological, and perhaps medical problems.
If you go back and listen to this video, I've never disagreed with you about that.
Okay. So shouldn't we listen to the experts when it comes to the treatment of trans children?
Sure, if they were all in agreement.
What do you mean all in agreement? We're not all in agreement on climate change.
I know.
So so wait, should we not do anything about climate change because we're not all in agreement?
Nope.
What?
No.
No what?
No, we shouldn't do anything about climate. We should not do anything about climate change.
So we should do something.
Yes.
Why? There are people who disagree with the official narrative.
Do you not understand that?
I don't understand a fucking thing right now, man. You're gonna have to help me. Like, you're a nice guy. I enjoy talking to you, but it's really obvious you don't have a consistent system for determining what you believe.
I think the same thing about people who claim to be leftist and vote for the establishment.
Oh God, it's folding in. The walls, they're closing in. Are you a troll?
I mean, like,
do you believe in a flat Earth?
Are you asking me seriously?
Can I red pill you in the flat Earth? I feel like with 5 minutes, I could red pill you in the flat Earth. Hey, did you know that there have been, I'm not joking, since the 1980s, 16 pilots, they've worked with Delta, United Airlines, even Saudi Air, who have gone missing after they've claimed that their flight paths were consistently deviating from ones consistent with the patterns of around Earth. That's pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that?
Yeah, I think people can lie and bullshit.
Yeah, I agree. Sometimes even institutions can lie and bullshit, you know.
Indeed,
like
they can. And they can make studies that push their lies and bullshit, as well as press releases, as well as everything else.
All right, well, okay. I love you, buddy. I hope you know that. Yeah, that went, oh God. This is the problem that I have, you know. You can do all the arguments in the world. At the end of the day, some people, I don't even think that guy was, I actually genuinely don't think that guy was stupid. I just don't think that guy has developed the mental, the faculties or like the cognitive processes to distinguish reality from not. But I have no idea. I genuinely don't. But I appreciate that he spoke with me. The one thing that I have difficulty with, or that it's really, really hard to keep on, it's that those conversations can meander in circle for hours. They can go on forever. You usually have to fix on one point. Premise, conclusion. It'd be really difficult to get there, but I feel like I wasn't even able to. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree.